Well, welcome to the live stream today. This is the Real Agents YouTube for real estate, and keep an eye out though. You're going to be seeing some new stuff coming out from us, and maybe a little bit of rebranding. That's going to be some cool stuff going on. Got a little background noise going on, but got that kicked off though. So anyways, all right. So today is really going to, last couple of weeks, we've covered just some generalized topics in the beginning. Today we had a couple of submissions for channel reviews, but also, Chrissy, did we post the link in the Facebook group? I just want to make sure we did that for people to join. So if you're in our private Facebook group, The Real Agents, then you can find the link for the live stream if you want to jump on the live stream and join us. That's always a lot of fun. We've been having a lot of fun with this over the last couple of weeks, getting people on the live stream and just having those open discussions. So go ahead and check the Facebook group if you want to come on the live stream. If you come in the back room, I'll keep an eye out when your camera comes on. We'll bring you on at that point. But also, we're going to do a couple of channel reviews. So I want to make sure we'll do them anyways, regardless. But ideally, if the people that submitted their channel reviews are present, then I would love for you to get the link in the Facebook group and join us live so we can kind of walk through the channel reviews together. Otherwise, you can also throw it in the chat. If you want to throw your channel review or your channel link in the chat, then we'll go for a review there. And we can go that route as well, I guess. So go ahead and load up some questions in the chat or go to the Facebook group. Check us out on the back end. So what's up? Okay. Living in Route. That's our first. I believe that's one of our channel submissions, right? And so let me see. And I'm going to bring up Chrissy. Pop surprise. Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the live stream. And I got, of course, Travis here as well. And he's here for backup, support, just in case. He's probably closing 2 or 3 deals right now, so that's always a good thing. Let's see, and I'm not sure if I'm in the live stream. You're in the chat, so let me see. Let's go back over to. Let me check.
We need to pop into the Facebook group. The Facebook group will bring you into the private group. We can have up to 10 people in the studio with us, so you'll need to use the link in the Facebook group that I just posted to be able to get into the studio to talk live.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, there we go. So I'm going to, I say we just go ahead and kick it off since we have,
we've got a list of people. Yep.
Yeah. Is it Joanna? I just want to make sure I got that correctly. Joanna. Hey, Joanna, how are you today? And good to see you. Let's kick in here and see. Let me see. I pulled up her channel. So let's see if I go to this format, or I can go share screen and that's kind of cool. Is that let me see if I can make myself smaller. Oh, there we go. Oh, but let me go there. Now, do we see her channel on there?
Yep.
I'll give it a minute just in case. I want to make sure that whenever I pop up, okay, there we go. And we're still on the live stream there. So, all right, cool. See, we're figuring this thing out as we go. I mean, that's pretty cool. All right, so let's go here. Let's look at Joanna and look at her channel. All right, 845 subscribers. Congratulations.
I love that background.
Yep.
With the bike and the subscribers.
Yep. Which one? Which part?
In the video right there.
Oh, her background on the video. Okay, I was looking at channel art already, so I was gonna go, okay, all right, looking at channel art. So cool. I hadn't got down that far yet, but yes, that's a cool. I like the bicycle down there. And most importantly, whenever I pulled this up,
hey guys, this is
her video started playing right away. So this is, I'm not subscribed, but I will subscribe right now. So I'll be number 846, Joanna. Since I'm not subscribed, what pops up here is a trailer video, and the trailer video will play automatically as soon as somebody comes to your channel that is not subscribed. We can look at whenever somebody is subscribed, then you can place a featured video in place there, and you can pick 2 different videos for that. What we recommend is pretty much what she just started. Let's see, agent and carry. Okay, so this looks like it's a 3-minute and 34-second video. Looks like it's an introduction video. And let me see, is Joanna she's in
our Facebook group.
Is she in the live stream though? Can I bring her up and we can talk?
No, she's not in here yet.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go back to the channel. There we go. So let's just start with the channel art. So I like, of course, looks very familiar, which I like as well. And I would just, first recommendation I would say is that I like to fill up as much dead space as possible. So if you can fill any dead space, that's always my recommendation. You've got that pretty well here. Now, the thing is that you have blue shading. And I know this kind of goes into way beyond us as real estate agents as far as graphic designers, right? So, but at the same time, just something to keep in mind. Anytime you have color on color, you want to think of opposite colors. If you look at, let me see, if you look at a color wheel, right? You look at a color wheel. So anything in marketing in general, when you look at a color wheel, you know, opposite colors, and you'll notice this, if you haven't noticed this now, you'll notice it going forward. NBA teams, football teams, marketing. I mean, pretty much everywhere you look now, if there's going to be usually two primary colors with a football team, a company, a marketing company, and they're usually going to be opposite if you see them. I'm not saying that's the case all the time, but a majority of the time you're going to find opposite colors. So teams will have, I think about LSU, right, is purple and yellow. You think about Cowboys, right? Well, blue and white. I mean, whites almost can be opposite of any color so that you can offset that. But anyways, you know, you look at green and red or purple and yellow or orange and blue. And so actually our brokerage colors are orange and blue. So that's opposite of each other. So something to keep in mind. Plus that provides you the right amount of contrast as well. So whenever you are looking at a channel, the blue shading on the blue background is what I'm saying is you could really make this living in Raleigh, North Carolina pop if you had a different shading on behind the words. But otherwise, I think, you know, it's still very visible and it's easy for people to see there. And then also, let's see, I mean, you've got the map, you know, you've got people moving in from all over. We love that. That creates a visual aspect on the desktop, not visible on the mobile, but on the mobile you have, let's see. Yeah, on the mobile. So mobile cuts off, for those that don't know, mobile cuts off about right there and right there. So with that, you know, that's the main portion that's visible on mobile, which you have yourself included, which is great. And whenever someone's on desktop, they'll see this. And again, that creates the visual so they know exactly where to go. So 845 subscribers, that's amazing. Let's see, about section. So, you started the channel quite some time ago. And let me see, videos, I'm assuming, what did you do back in the day? Was that real estate videos all the way back in the day? You've been on you've been on YouTube for a long time. 9 years, look at that, 9 years ago, already posting videos. Now you're a pioneer. I love it. Look at that. So, and look at the transition. I just saw a big skull. Not sure what that, the Witch of Halloween. All right. So a lot of the old videos on there established, but you'll notice the transition. You can see how you start to definitely incorporate more thumbnails in there, but let's just go to the recent ones. Let's go back to the home channel right here. And we talked about, now I know this is an introduction video because it says local real estate agent in Cary, North Carolina. So this is just something we've discussed as far as it's effective, but we don't feel it's the best way to introduce somebody to your channel because ultimately they're coming for the information, right? They're coming to learn about living in Raleigh, North Carolina. So if you start out with an introduction to yourself, just the way we view that as is, have we earned the right to do that yet? Basically, we want to provide value at all costs, which means we want to provide value up front as much as possible. And if we can get to information first, where that's the first thing that pops up on their channel, then we want to get them locked in. And so for us, let's just say, let me go to our channel here and I'll pop this up and you're going to see what.
So you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas?
Okay. So that is one of our regular videos. It's one that is definitely catching, but also think about it. When somebody comes to the channel, that's the first thing they hear within the first 3 seconds. So you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas. We want people to actually say, yeah, I am thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas. And so that captures them automatically versus hi, my name's Levi. I'm a real estate agent here. Now we feel like we're kind of going into, selling ourselves, and we don't feel like we've earned that yet. And this is just for us. Now, clearly, you can do whatever you want on your channel. It is your channel, but we're just recommending that if you have one of your videos that has a really good hook in the first 3 seconds as a trailer, and it's value driven, which is, so you're thinking about moving to, or, don't move to Raleigh, North Carolina, whatever you do, if that's the first thing that pops up, that's probably going to capture somebody's attention over, hello, my name is, and I didn't play this all the way yet, but
Hey guys, this is Joanna Nin. I am the owner of the Prosperous Agency, a boutique real estate company that was founded in 2011, December.
But as far as the video, I love the look, love the bicycle, just like Travis said. That's a cool background. The first thing he saw, very eye-catching for him. I like the subtle subscribe in the background. That's pretty cool. Outfit looks great. I couldn't pull that off, but, hey, Travis probably could.
Oh, no.
So, but yeah, I love the background, everything. You got a slight blur on the camera. That's really nice. You've got good graphics going on there. And let me see.
In Cary, North Carolina. If you are considering moving to the Cary area, or you're moving to Raleigh, to Apex, Holly Springs, Morrisville, all of the surrounding areas next to Cary, we are here to help you. I am recording this video in March of 2012, and I want to tell you that the market in this area is
March of 2012? Okay. Did she say 2012?
in this area is absolutely in this area in 12, and I in March of 2012, and I want.
Okay, so clearly, I believe you recorded this March of 2022 because that's whenever it was published. But you say March of 2012, and so it might be confusing to some people, and maybe some people may not catch that. But I heard 2012. I was like, wow, that's really good video quality. You are way ahead of the game if you were making these style of videos back in 2012. So something to keep in mind there as well on the 2012 portion. You want to update that to 2022 if you can. So let's see here.
I want to tell you that the market in this area is absolutely crazy.
Okay, so again, this is something else that we've discussed as well, as far as kind of a market report or dating your videos. You'll notice that if you've seen any of our videos, we typically don't drop dates for that reason. Number one, if it's because if I come to this and I start watching this video, I might just say, you know what, okay, I'm probably going to jump off now because this was March, the market's crazy, probably not as crazy right now as it was back then. And so they may not feel this video is relevant. And so therefore, at first, like I like the part where you're saying, hey, if you're thinking about moving to this area, but that's almost 30 seconds in, or no, really more like 10 seconds in, but still, could you lose some people in the beginning? Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, those would be some things that I would look at. So now it's a great, and now it's a specific market report to March of 2022. And again, that's not really relevant at this point. So we're probably not likely to gain traction on this video moving forward. And so I would revert back to, let's see what else we got on here. Top things to do in Raleigh, North Carolina. That could be one just based on the name of it. How's the real estate housing market? Probably wouldn't do that one. Pros and cons, that's a good one. So pros and cons, that could be a good one to start off. Let's see how this one starts.
Birdie told me that some of you actually think Raleigh is boring. Well, how about we talk about things to do in Raleigh, North Carolina?
Okay. I think
and
that's
she's on the call now too, Levi. She just popped in, so she's in the studio if we wanted to bring her up.
Okay. I was like, where's that other voice coming from? Let's see. Can you bring her in, Chrissy? Are you able to bring her in?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I'm not sure if I can, but I'll check.
But I would say, going back to this, let's see. I can bring her in real quick. And where's she?
In.
Oh, she is. Oh, hey,
Hola. Hey, how are you?
good. How are you? Let me see if I can go to. There we go. Oh, hey, Joanna, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. Did you catch the first portion of that?
I did. I was on a different link. So I was listening to everything and chatting, but I didn't know how to join. So I'm here.
Okay. Did it make sense what I said so far?
It did. And I totally fucked up there. I'm like, yeah, I'm in 2012. I just went back with Matrix and all of that. So yes, no. Yes.
Did you never hear that before until I pointed it out?
I think to be honest, don't even know if I did. I recorded it and I went on with my life, and we just posted it, and there it is. So we know we have to do a bunch of channel ramp up, and we have all the must-do videos. So there's a lot of work to do for sure.
Okay. I mean, no problem. But I think easy fix, because we can go to, let me see if I guess I can go back here.
Yeah, and I mean, you've got a great start to your channel too. I mean, that's really impressive what you have there so far. So, I mean, just having that base there and just having that familiarity with the camera is really going to help as we build the channel out.
Yeah. So just some feedback from Levi and your team so far. We really think that you guys are like the ones that we really connect with when it comes to giving me specific instruction as to exactly what to do, because I never had a coach or anything like that. On another note, I've watched a lot of your like vlog videos and the map videos, and like even the one that your agent did, the recent one. I mean, I cannot speak for 25 minutes, to be honest, about an area as well as you guys do. And please give me feedback on this. So one, I am not an English native speaker. Two, I do not know so much stuff. I could totally learn more about every single freaking area. That's fine. But to me, after 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, I gotta, it's like, I'm blanking out. So I don't think I can sustain a 25-minute video just the way you guys do it on the vlog and on the map. So please let me know what should I do in that regard. If you think it's fine to kind of just compress it to like a 12-minute video. Also, I know this probably is going to be a big time no, but is it okay for me to read stuff? Like, is it okay for me to go, you guys, I have some notes here. It is what it is. Whatever. This is what's happening on a census level, blah, blah. And remember, Levi, I don't know if you remember, I emailed you, I texted you on Insta asking, what do you use? Like, do you use Zoom, or do you use, what is it that you use to because I have not used anything like that before. Mm-hmm. So I need to get used to using certain software in order to pull the data, to do all of that, which is easy. But yeah, I know, giving you a lot of information. I'm just ready to roll this up. To ramp this up, and I'm giving myself 3 months, and then I will continue with you guys. So I want to continue with you editing, and my goal is to close 100 more transactions in the next 12 months. So just so you know where I am.
Okay. So what, real quick, so what's the 3 months? You're going to work on this on your own for 3 months, or you're using our editing right now, or no?
Yes. So I got the package number 2. I want to know everything I need to do with the channel. And if you guys think I should keep this channel, this was a big discussion within our household yesterday, because this channel up to yesterday had my name. Okay. Then we changed it to living in Raleigh, North Carolina. Then we realized, we just changed the name, but there's no domain. There's no domain that we can buy, and it doesn't match our business's name. So that was a big aha moment. Like, your channel matches what people Google, and what Google is indexing is all beautifully matching, not in our case.
Well, all right. So there's a couple of things on that. First of all, I want to say, Travis, you want to talk about notes?
Yeah.
Making notes for it.
I have plenty of input for that one.
Go for it. Just tell her what you did on your note hack.
Well, I think for one, like, you don't ever have to make a video longer than what is necessary, right? I mean, don't overthink it. If the video feels really good at 10 minutes, that's great. If the video rolls on for 15, 20, 25 minutes, that's great. I think that that's very important that you just stay kind of in your natural flow. Now, when it comes to like the process and the flow of which you're shooting these videos, if you're doing a vlog style tour or something along those lines, I was like super nervous when I first started getting on camera. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Like, I'll never forget when we went out to Mansfield and I was like holding the phone and I was like trying to do my intro and the hook and all that stuff. And I didn't practice it enough. So I was like, it just took me so many tries to get it that I was like, screw this, Levi, do it. So Levi he just crushed it, right? So, that I think that for me, it's very, very important that you just memorize the hook and the intro to make it really smooth. Hey, if you're thinking about moving to Raleigh, North Carolina, boom, right? Like get that intro down to a T to where it's the same thing, every single time, basically. That'll at least alleviate some stress there. Now, when you're doing a vlog tour, in my mind, I would compartmentalize everything into like 6 steps, right? You would have your hook and your intro, and then you would go to a neighborhood where you show 3 homes that are between $350,000 and $450,000. Then you go to the second neighborhood, and you have that's your hook and intro, maybe 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, right? Then your $350,000 to $450,000. That needs to just take another 2 or 3 minutes. But if you have multiple properties in that same price range, it should be very, very easy to get 3 to 5 minutes out of that neighborhood and those homes. Then when you go to 500 to 750, you spend another 3, 4, 5 minutes there talking about a few homes in that area and just walking around and seeing things and just speaking what you see and speaking what you feel. Those 3, 4 minutes go by very, very quickly. And before you know it, boom, you have your third section done. Then your fourth section is going to be your $750,000 to $1 million house, right? Then you can just speak for 3 or 4 minutes there. Like none of this has to be done in one take. That was my biggest problem, is I was like so stressed out on trying to do everything in one take that I was just overcomplicating the whole process, which never really needed to be done. Then, if you want to close it out with the market update and recap your video, I think that's probably the easiest thing, because you're kind of on your computer, right? And you're still looking at your video and you're still recording, and you're just kind of like talking to the camera and also looking at your camera, giving a quick little market update there at the very end. That always took, easily 4, 5, 6 minutes. And if you have all 5 of those sections at 4 minutes, that's a 20-minute video right there. And it's not really complicated. Now, for me, I love the vlog tours. I like those a lot better than doing any type of office video. And the reason why that is again, because I was just overcomplicating things. So let's just say you have pros and cons video, and you have 9 pros and you have 6 cons. Again, this doesn't have to be done in one take. It just needs to be done. So what I would say is do your hook and your intro, right? And then so you start off with your pros, right? And then all you have to do is memorize the first 3 pros, right? You can have your little bullet points, and you're naturally going to be able to talk about those 3 bullet points. And you only need to spend, 45 or a minute on one of those bullet points. It doesn't have to be long. So if you have 3 bullet points that are 45 seconds to a minute, let's just say that's 3 minutes. And then you have your next 3. So you can step aside and you can just pause. Okay, cool. I've just got those 3 done. We're at about 4 or 5 minutes right here. Just step to the side of the camera, review your notes, right? And then just jump back in. All right, for pro number 4, you have this. Pro number 5, you have this. Pro number 6, you have this. Okay, cool. You just needed to memorize those 3 things. All right, take a second, get your wits, step to the side, and then boom, step right back in, and then finish it out with your next 3 pros. And then step aside again and go to your cons, right? So each one of those, may take 2 or 3 minutes, but after you add them all together, you may have a 15 or 25-minute video. So nothing has to be done all in one take. Our editors are going to be able to put that. For me, it really, really helped, because like when I saw the videos come out, because I was like, man, I suck. And I probably really did suck. I'm a little better now, but at the time I was like, man, this is really terrible. But then I saw like the editing come together. I was like, damn, I'm good. Like everything was like just all put together, and it sounded good and it looked good, and like everything just kind of flowed. So I really wouldn't stress too much about the length, and I wouldn't stress about, you don't probably want to sit there and like read notes like on the camera. Like I would go do what you can, what you can memorize, kind of step to the side, take a little breather, get the next few things, jump back in and talk to the camera. I mean, you really want to build that relationship with the camera. You want to try to engage with your audience by looking them through the lens of the camera like it's your best friend. So that would be just some of my tips. I think that may really help you out, but don't stress about the time of the video. Just make sure the quality of the content's there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get hung up on just trying to make it long enough. I think that's one of the biggest questions that I get from people when I talk to people on our course calls and when I do consults with people for their channels, is they're saying, oh, you know, like I'm not getting more than 7 to 10 minutes. And I just feel like I should try and be making it longer so I can get that view duration. And what I found is that when you start getting comfortable, you actually have a harder time keeping it short.
So my problem is that I talk a lot, actually.
Oh, she can
So
talk.
I don't have any issues with talking, with looking at the person. I actually think that is my strength. What I was saying is that you guys have so much knowledge on a certain area, and I suck at that. Like,
hey, Joanna, come on now. How long do you live there?
That's not true. She doesn't suck. It's just confidence is what's missing.
And you know what? I think too, that's another thing to keep in mind is I really think perfectionism with YouTube is probably the greatest barrier to your success. And I think a lot of people who try so hard to get it right, you know, I've had a couple of people who, you know, we've gone 2 or 3 weeks. They haven't even made one video because they're like, well, I've redone the video like 5 times because the first time I did it, I just made too many mistakes. And after talking through it, I'm like, you know what? We can cut stuff out. You know, that first video would have been perfect the way it was because we can perfect it on the editing side. So allow yourself to make those mistakes. And honestly, some of our mistakes have been some of our like best features of the video. Like there's this one video that we did for Levi sometime last year, and he majorly tripped. I mean, like majorly tripped over something on the sidewalk. I think there was a giant crack in there. And I mean, he like almost biffed it on the sidewalk. It ended up being hilarious. And we played it up in the video, and where it could have been, you know, he could have stopped and just like had to collect himself and everything. He just kept going. We played it up, and it was an awesome part of the video. We had some good comments on that in the comment section. So I think just don't let yourself get too caught up in the perfectionism. Even if you feel like you're doing too much, we can always come back on the editing side and say, hey, we're going to actually cut that piece out. We felt like maybe that was maybe unnecessary, you know, for the video. I'd rather work with too much content than too little. And so just kind of go for it. Send in your first videos, and, you know, we can kind of talk through the feedback as we kind of go through stuff. But yeah, I think just as a general note to everybody who's listening on this, just don't let that fear of not having it be perfect enough or curated enough to be on YouTube. Don't let that stop you from getting your first video out, because it's better to get something out than nothing at all. And sometimes that perfectionism will stop you from actually launching your channel, which is worse than not putting something out. So
cool. All right.
Yeah, I will say one more thing on that as far as like the research, because like even though we're, you know, born and raised in this area, we certainly did not know all the information. Like by no means did we know the information. Before we would go out and shoot originally, now we do, because we shot so many videos, like we pretty much know everything, but we would do all of the research before we would go out. And if you're filming on your phone, I remember like when we were first starting to do this, we would have a little sticky note. So like if we needed to know like how many people were in the city, or, you know, whatever our bullet points were, if there was like 15 bullet points, I would just put a little sticky pad like on the back of my phone. And when I was recording my video, I was still looking directly at the camera, but I also had this little sticky note on my camera so that I could remember to touch base on a very specific point if I needed to do that, right? You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that we knew every single thing, but we would do all the research before going out and filming. And then when I would go out and film, like I didn't want to miss certain things that I thought were very important about a city. And I would always put a little sticky note on the back of my phone, and no one could ever see it. Well, there were sometimes where we would film and it would be like flapping at the camera. We'd have to reshoot it, but you know, we got over all that stuff. But you know, that's
That's a good point. That's a good point. Thank you so much for that.
So I want to ask you guys one more thing before we go regarding Google My Business, right? We had Joanna in Realty, the Prosperous Agency, up there for like many years. Now, obviously, with living in Raleigh and with SEO and search, you know, terms and the keywords, that would probably make sense to change that. Question is, I'm not sure if Google is going to allow us to do that because it doesn't have the realty name or anything with real estate, you know, related in that description. So what do you suggest?
The question is what should your name be on Google My Business?
Well, should we do a so in order to get Google My Business, like living in Raleigh, NC,
Yep.
First of all, we would have to incorporate another business in order to, have the Google My Business verified.
Oh, I don't think that's the case. You have our course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, have you gone through the Google My Business module in there?
No,
not yet.
Almost.
All right. Well, you're supposed to go through everything there before you jump on. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
So we have a whole module on that, and you don't have to have an incorporated or real estate or anything like that. I mean, our Google My Business is living in Dallas, Texas, and that's what it is. Now, could we put team after that? Could we put real estate? I don't know. I mean, it's just living in Dallas, Texas is the top search term, so that's why we named it that. That's why we named the channel now. In there. So I would look at that. Plus, if you haven't gone through the module on how to make videos as well, which we go over the office.
We did that.
So I cover, have you seen the updates then? Because I cover the pros and cons, how not to talk for 20 minutes straight, right? Do you remember whenever I show you how to go through and record in 2 to 3 minute segments?
No, we didn't get there.
Okay, so go back to module 4, I believe, how to make videos. It should be the first one, how to make an office video. So that will help you understand how you make a 15-minute video is really just 5 3-minute videos pieced together. Okay. And let me run through the rest of this real quick, because I do want to get to some other people. And so, number 2 on your accent. This is the great thing about video is that people already know what you sound like. So the ones that call you will want to work with you. So I wouldn't worry about that at all whatsoever. Just be yourself and make videos. Ultimately, the content is what's going to lead the clients to you. And if you're in our editing services, then we can revamp. We can revamp the banner and everything. And so we can just kind of clean that up. But I would switch out your trailer video and your featured video. I would choose that one that we just pulled up. Well, let me go back to shared screen real quick. On this looks like a good one. I haven't gone through all of them, but I like your intro here where you're.
Birdie told me that some of you actually think Raleigh is boring. Well.
Okay, so that's 5 seconds. That's a really good hook. A little birdie told me some of you think Raleigh's really boring. Okay, that would be a trailer. That would be a trailer video. That's what you want to capture people's attention. I think that's a better trailer video than it is a featured video. So then if I go back and I go to your other videos, I'm going to say pros and cons is probably a good.
So what are the pros and cons of living in?
That's a good featured video. So those would be the 2 videos. I would do the other one as a trailer and this one as a featured. And
so
then
you wouldn't sorry. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's also going to help you get more views to those videos as well. So go ahead.
Okay. So you wouldn't start up another channel if you were us?
No, it's all real estate related. You just have the channel forever. I mean, I think this is kind of the cool thing about it is now let's look at, clearly we have a catalog of all of your videos and the view counts, right? So now what we should do is work on optimizing that. And also, wait, so we are doing the editing for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then I saw that. I mean, this video it's optimized. You can also put your website in the description, which you probably have.
Yeah, we noticed you don't have. I think you only had your YouTube link, which this is interesting.
I'd probably get rid of this stuff right here, the socials on there, but you can have your website. But going back to real quick, this is the last thing I want to cover because I do want to get to some other people. Is I wouldn't worry about the channel being named different than your overall business. YouTube is a search engine. It's not a social platform, so the people that do know you are probably not searching you on YouTube. YouTube is strictly what we're utilizing to find new business, new clients, people that are searching for Raleigh every single day. That's our target market. And if we provide value and information first versus, hey, I'm a real estate agent, work with me, then we're more likely to capture people. Does that make sense? And so your brand, if you have Joanna's home selling team, some people might see that and they may say, oh, I just really want to learn about Raleigh, that maybe they don't want to hear from an agent. So I believe it's better to be positioned as a value-driven channel to where now anybody clicks on your first video, they're going to know you're an agent, but at the same time, that intro, like you did, so you think Raleigh's boring, that's what a little birdie told me. I mean, so that's something that would, oh, okay, I like this person. She's interesting. Okay. Yeah. I thought Raleigh is boring, but now I don't, so that's how you hook people in versus, hey, I'm a real estate agent here. So that's why I'd switch those out.
So just to be clear, what do I do with the name? Because it was my name. Then yesterday we changed it to living in Raleigh. So
yeah, that's fine. I would leave it.
Leave it like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, and if you want to incorporate your name and kind of secondarily brand yourself, then I would just say at the beginning of your videos, you can mention, the team that you're a part of, or, however you normally introduce yourself. But on YouTube, it's always SEO value first, brand second, because that's what people are searching for. So you always want to target what the search volume is telling you to follow versus what you think your brand should be.
Got it.
Because that will come naturally on its own, and it would be a secondary kind of branding opportunity on that.
Thank you so much, you guys. We love you.
You're welcome. Excited to work with you.
Same here.
Take care.
All right. Let me see. Thank you. All right. So let's go to, what's up, Maren? Good to see you. How are you doing? Are you, can I bring you in? You got a quick question?
Watch and see what's going on.
Oh, what's up, Maren? How are you? Now you're live.
Oh, good. That's fun.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just starting the channel slowly. I've been working with Liftoff Agent to get my website done.
Cool.
And I think there's a little bit of conflict between what you're recommending and what they're recommending on YouTube. So I'm kind of struggling a little there.
Okay.
They wanted an introduction video of mine on my website right away, and that's kind of not what you have said. So I'm kind of working through that. But we're also just working on content in the middle of all of that. I've got 2 kids in college, and there's just some things, and I'm also a full-time probation officer. So, I mean, there's just some things, right? It's just a lot of things that go on, but I'm trying.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm going to stick with it. I think that traditionally most people will default to, hey, we need an introduction video. Now, on your website, that may not necessarily be a bad thing, because you think about it, when people are going to specific websites, they are looking for more information, right? It's not, it's not this day and age to get your website ranked organically on Google is pretty difficult. So for somebody to find that first, they're more likely to find your channel first. Now, if they find your channel and then they go to your website, they're probably looking to learn more about you, right? Or to verify, maybe find reviews or testimonials, or, they're doing a little bit more research on you. So I don't think an introductory video would be bad on the website. But at the same time, I mean, we're still, we don't even have that on our website. We have a short video clip, and we do link in our YouTube videos because it's a WordPress site, and we want that to be linked in there for the SEO, which we discussed that in the WordPress module inside
Right.
as well. So, but ultimately it's your website, so don't take any crap from that. No, but hey,
No, but they've been great. But yeah, so it's just like getting all of that dialed in.
Yeah, they're a good crew. I mean, the thing is just, I don't think it's a bad thing on the channel, but at the same time, again, I think people really ultimately develop relationships with you through the content and through the information, the value that you provide, and so they understand you're a real estate agent. Like we said, we incorporate our personalities in our videos. We don't dedicate the video to our personalities.
Fair.
So we sprinkle in things that we like and things that we do. We sprinkle that into videos, and that's how people get to know us over time, versus let me make a 3-minute video telling you about the fact that I love puppy dogs and fluffy kittens and, everything, that's something that I don't know if that's as impactful, so.
Fair. But yeah, we're just working and going through we're just finishing up the last bit of the modules, but we're working every day on getting new stuff and new content.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, let us know if you need anything else, and I'm looking forward to seeing your website when it's done.
I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the recommendation for them. They're great.
Okay, you're welcome. So, all right. Let me see. There you are. Okay, so let me go back to, let's see, who's our other channel? We have, is it Anj?
Yeah, we had a couple that were on a different thread too. So let me pull those ones up.
I saw Anj, and then I went to, okay. And then let's go, is Anj in the, on here?
She's not on the live stream, I don't think.
All right, I see Andy. Let me jump to Andy real quick, and we'll bring Andy in. What's up, Andy? And see if you got any questions we can answer real quick before we get to Anj's. Do we see her in the chat at all? Okay. Anj, if you're out there, let us know. We'll get to your channel next. And then Andy, what's up, man? Where are you at? Where are you calling from? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
I'm in Boston.
Okay, what's up? Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I was I got on the call last night with Chrissy and just kind of getting on today, just kind of checking out. I'm new to the course, about halfway through right now. Started my channel a couple of weeks ago, got a couple videos up there, but I'm going to start kind of plugging away. Looking at probably reaching out to Chrissy to hire you guys to do the video editing. Quick question for you guys: when you're doing the community tours and you're driving around, I actually just posted this on Facebook too. Are you guys using any kind of camera that's hooked up to the car or anything like that when you're driving by houses? How do you keep it so steady?
Yeah, so if you, yeah, good question. I mean, I still use an iPhone 11.
Yep.
And I still with the wide angle, the iPhone 11 Pro, and also, do you mind going back on mute real quick? I think you're in a coffee shop or something. So there you go. All right. So I still use an iPhone 11. I don't recommend this. You're not going to find this anywhere because I cannot. I'm just not going to recommend you do driving footage unless you have something that you can fix. Alex, do they make suction cups? I heard they make suction. You can get a suction cup. Ideally, if you roll your window halfway down and get one of those suction devices, because if you do a dash cam, clearly there's things you can mount to your dash cam or put in the windshield, but that's very hard to capture that view. So we like a straight on side view. And so if you just get a little adjustable arm, and you should be able to understand this when you look at it on Amazon, you get a little suction cup, roll the window about halfway down, pop it up. But otherwise, we use the iPhone. The iPhone has built-in stabilization, and you'd be surprised. It shakes quite a bit. You hit bumps and things like that. And whenever I watch back the footage, you can barely even notice that stuff, if at all, whatsoever. And clearly by your indication, it looks smooth to you. It does. It looks smooth. And it's the stabilization built into those phones is really, really good. So I just still use an iPhone 11. They're even better with the 12s and the 13s. So all you need is something where you can roll your window about halfway down, get a suction cup on there, clamp your phone in there, hit record, drive for about 2 minutes through that neighborhood, and you're good to go. Cool. All right. Well, let's see. Thanks for joining us. Let's go over. Do we got any good questions in the chat? Did Anj show up?
Yeah, I think she might be on. If you are in the regular chat, you just need to go to the link that's in the Facebook group, because I saw her in the chat here. So just go to the Facebook group and you should see the link to come into the live studio.
Okay. Let's see here. Let's go to a couple of questions real quick. I'm not sure, living in Nevada County, California, I'm not sure if I'm in the live stream. Chrissy, I found my other channel.
Oh, yeah. She was having a hard time. She had created a duplicate channel or something. And so we were trying to figure that out yesterday, and I told her to kind of navigate around, and it looks like she probably just duplicated the channel. Is that what happened? I think that's Cheyenne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we chatted about it yesterday.
Let's see. How do I get to the Facebook group? Look up the Real Agents.
Yeah, and if you're in our course too, it's going to be on our course page too. So you'll see.
You could throw the link in the chat if you want.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Chrissy. And then,
yep.
Yeah. I'd love a channel review. Alrighty. Well, let's see here. Let's see who else we got. Okay. We're looking through. I'm just shifting through here now. Oh, she's okay. She changed her mind already. Don't need a review yet. Wait till she has it built out more. No problem. All right. Here's the question. Here we go. Moving to Southgate. Levi, my city is borderline Los Angeles. Should I use moving to LA or Southgate and surrounding areas? Well, I've never heard of Southgate in LA. So that would be something I would be mindful of, but ultimately I'd look at the search volume. I mean, Los Angeles is clearly going to be the largest driver to that area, but you also got to think about, are you working LA? Are you not working LA? If you're not working LA, we still do a majority of our business outside of Dallas, despite the name of the channel being Dallas. And we spend a lot of time in the suburbs. So if Southgate is close of it, if it's borderline, as you say, then LA might be a better, driver. But if you really, really want to niche down on Southgate, then, name it after Southgate. And that's something, like I said, I don't think I've heard that, and there's probably not another channel that way. So if you really want to niche in, you will find the people that are looking for Southgate. How do we contact to discuss a few questions outside of this Q&A? We got several ways. So depends on, I suppose, what you would like to discuss. So let's see, if you're in our Facebook group, you can hit us on Messenger. If you're in the course, there's contact ways. So let's see.
Another thing, just going back to what you were saying though, Levi, too, because I've had a lot of questions about that. And sometimes, if you're not servicing some of those bigger areas, I still think that there's value in using that as the main driver in your videos. And so a lot of times, like if you're doing a neighborhood in that particular area, you don't really do like the downtown area kind of outskirts, then you can say that neighborhood in Los Angeles or, something similar to that. And that way you're still pulling the traffic. Because a lot of people, when they're searching for, you think about it, a lot of people who are moving to a brand new place, especially from out of state, they have no idea where these little neighborhoods are or where some of these suburbs are. The first thing they're going to search for is LA. You kind of have to show them what they don't know. And you have to start kind of with the bigger keywords. So I usually go with secondary keywords to kind of dominate the market when we go into your SEO and actually do the back end keyword research. But we'll use kind of LA or, Los Angeles or San Diego or one of the bigger cities. We would use that as kind of your main keyword for that, and then do secondary keywords as kind of supporting pieces of your SEO so that we're ranking for both keywords. And so that's what I would say is don't worry too much about trying to, rank number one for some of these smaller areas. Think of the bigger area, think of what's going to draw the traffic, and we can always go in there and do secondary keywords as well.
Yep. All right. Cheyenne says, I do tons of practice videos just to get used to being on camera. Yeah, that's one way you can do it. But what if you record a really good practice video? What do you do then? Do you publish it? Or, I mean, I like to be efficient. It's like just get it and go. Should we start by using a map to show people or intro to our city? Are you talking about the trailer video? I think something that has appeal to a lot of people. I mean, if you want something that's hook worthy in the beginning, so when they land on your channel, it's going to capture their attention, but also think about something that, I don't know, I think probably something still very informational, just kind of like Ioana had, where, do you think Raleigh's boring, or the things you don't like about Raleigh? Something like that's probably more catchy than digging into a map right off the bat. Usually the map videos, I think, are really good for the current subscribers that are really dug in. They know they want to watch your content, and they're doing a lot of research. So I'm not sure if a map video would be ideal for a trailer or a featured video.
Well, and two, I mean, if you're asking like what video you should actually start with, like as your first video on your brand new channel, I think there's a couple ways to look at it. One, I would say, what's going to get you a video fastest? What can you do first? If you feel like a vlog is going to take you longer and you're going to have to, prep for 2 weeks to be able to go out one day to go do that, then I would say start with a map video or start with a pros and cons video, just so that you can get something there. Because, sometimes it's just a matter of getting the content up to kind of spur that beginning of the channel. And the beautiful thing is that everything that you create is evergreen. And so ultimately that does not really super matter in the long term. I mean, initially, I think vlogs draw more traffic quicker. And so that's the ideal, is typically starting with a vlog, in my opinion. But ultimately, everything's evergreen. So what's going to get you on YouTube fast? What's going to be the fastest way to get your channel started? I think that's probably the most important factor. And if it's a toss up and you really could start with anything, then I would probably start with a vlog, just because those draw the traffic the fastest.
All right. Virgilio's having trouble accessing his subscription. Do you know who that is, Chrissy?
I'm not sure who that is, but just message me on Facebook and I'll make sure. We just need to get your email that you signed up with, and that way I can look you up and we can resend your login details.
Yeah, we can resend that. That's not a problem.
Yep. So just find me on Facebook. I'm in the Facebook group too, and we also put the Facebook group.
Well, he can't find the Facebook group either.
Well, I put the Facebook group in the chat. So
I know.
Yeah. So if you can find that, then you can find me.
Well, all right, we got to help Virgilio out. The real estate team, they're having trouble there. So all right, let's see. Oh, Anj is here. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Anj, are you in the background? I don't see you. Do you want to come on? If you want to come on, go to the link in the private Facebook group, and we'll run through your channel real quick, and then we'll get this wrapped up. Let's see. Bruce says great points about not being perfect. Our first videos were terrible as I wasn't comfortable with the scripts and being on video. Yep. But just keep trucking along. Let's see. Living in Florida. I just started my channel and I wanted to know what are my next steps. Like, what should I be doing? I posted one video. Well, there's a lot to unpack there. So I'm not sure. We'd have to take a look at that. And then I'd have to know, are you in the course? If you're in the course, then you should be walking through that. All right, I'm going to get to Anj here. I'm going to jump over to Peter real quick. Peter, you got a quick question? Are you coming on? You just hanging out? Or give me a thumbs up. I can see you there.
Oh.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? Hey, I'm just hanging out, just learning, seeing what the questions are. I haven't started
good.
my channel yet. I started with shorts, but it's completely different from the area that I want to focus. So just kind of snooping around right now.
Okay, cool. Well, you got the look, man. I mean, you got the background, the microphone, the good camera. I mean, you're ready to rock and roll. Yeah. So I'm sure we'll see some good videos coming out soon. All right, so let's go to. Did I find Anj's? Yes, I did. All right, so we'll get to Anj real quick. Anyways, we can run through this, and let me go back to the screen share. And boom. Okay, there we go. All right, Anj, just let me know if she pops in. So let's see. Living in Los Angeles. All right, there we go. So work with me. Let's see, where does this take us? Work with me. Okay, so this goes to our website. Got your information. Is there, let me see, work with me. See where that goes.
Just right off the bat, that's one thing that I would change right away, is just to have a more direct line on how to get a hold of you. And so, I mean, we use Zoom like a Calendly so that people can schedule a call with us. It just seems that it's a little confusing where they need to go to talk to you. And initially, just looking at your website, I really can't tell just off the bat that you're a real estate agent just at a glance. I mean, it says it right there, but at the same time, I think that if somebody were to land on this page from that link, just with the attention spans that we have, I think they'd kind of be confused where they needed to go.
Well, this is interesting though, is that, okay, it says estate agent, and it says, oh, she's originally from London. I thought she was, oh yeah, she's in Los Angeles. I was thinking for a second, well, she's in London, England, but
yeah.
So this is something, let me see, estate agent. I mean, if it's real, let's see, real estate company.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to make it really, really clear and simple for someone to be able to get in contact with you. And so, landing on a big paragraph like that, I'm sure a lot of people jump immediately. They're just thinking that you're going to have to read through to have to figure out how to get a hold of you. So I would rather have you send them to like a Calendly or, something along those lines, and give them a very clear call to action. And that will make, obviously your conversion will go up from that. And just the fact that people will be able to get a hold of you quickly, I think it's going to make a big difference on that.
Well, and the other thing is I would say estate agent may be confusing unless you're focusing on, estate sales or something like that. But if you are focused on real estate agent, but the first thing I read is that travel exposure to architecture and design throughout Europe shaped her love of interior design projects. So to me, that's going to make me immediately think you're an interior designer. And you may have a skilled long-term project planner with career highlight, successfully completing the build of London City's hotel. So and then Anja's design and career, and passion for real estate brought her to Los Angeles. So again, I'm just keep hearing design draws inspiration from interior designer. I mean, I'm seeing design and interior design and architecture a lot more than I am helping someone buy or sell a home. So I'm not sure, just based on this, I'm not going to dig much more into this. And what the goal here is, it may be to, well, oh no, we headed for a collapse. Oh, I know that guy. Wonder if she's on his team.
So you're thinking about moving to Sherman Oaks, California. In this video, we're going to take you around some homes at different price points so you can start to get a sense of what your budget will get you. This channel is all about living in California. We cover communities all over the state. This is the channel you've been looking for. If you want to know about where to live, where to play, where to eat, then subscribe and tap the bell to be notified about new videos as they come out so you can be the first to know about all of the current happenings and the real estate market here in California. My name is Dominic Labriola.
And I'm Ange Catalano, and we're with Craft & Bauer Real Estate. We get calls, texts, and emails every...
Let me see. I know Dominic.
Everybody is asking me lately what's going on with the real estate market. The pandemic has been crazy, and we have seen our housing market being pushed to mind-boggling extremes. As the last few years have seen, we've had record prices, all cash bidding wars, and buyers who are willing to pay and waive just about...
Okay. I'm a Brit living in Los Angeles. I like that. So, I mean, I think it's engaging. Again, I think
everybody is...
again, going back to that, as far as being the primary video on there, is it as relevant today as it was? Well, I know it was a month ago, and I didn't listen to the whole thing, but still 3-minute video. I think something as far as value driven towards the channel or towards the area is going to be a lot better. Now, the other thing is that you start out with living in California. So he says this channel is all about living in California. This says living in Los Angeles. So I'm a little confused there as well. As far as, are you going to be covering? I see Los Angeles. So I think you're focused on Los Angeles. Dominic says in this video that I clicked on initially, this video or this channel is about living in California, and we cover the entire state. So that could also be overwhelming to somebody as far as, well, learning about the entire state. That's a lot. And so if Anj, as the agent, if you're focused on LA, I think it serves you better to be focused on LA. Now, it looks like from the videos here, it is about LA. But again, the messaging is confusing at the front there. So let me click on this one.
In today's video, I'm going to be discussing what's on everyone's mind.
The great thing is you're very engaging. You've got a good voice. Of course, we all love the accent. That's great. And you don't look like you're shy on camera. So all of that is going well for you. You come out of the gate. As soon as I start this off, it's engaging to me. And it's just, I feel confidence, which is a good thing. So
The recession and what it means for the real estate market and what you can do to protect yourself. If you're new here, this channel is all about living in Los Angeles. If you'd like to learn more about what...
Okay, so now you're saying this is all about living in Los Angeles. And so if I came from the last video to this video, again, might be some confusion there, might not be a big enough deal to worry about at this time, but just something to think about going forward.
LA has to offer and the current happenings, as well as the market. Please stick around until the end and tap the bell for notifications. My name is Ange Catalano, and I'm with Craft & Bauer. I get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you looking for help on making their move either to or from LA and asking how I made the move here. If you're moving in 6 days
or even 6 months, give me a call, shoot me a text or an email so we can see how to make your move as smooth as possible. Now, to the matter of the day, the US economy, which has contracted for the second straight quarter from April to June, which many economists widely accept as the rule of thumb for signaling a recession. While some are arguing that we're not in a recession, there's no doubt that the economy is slowing down as a Federal Reserve acts to bring down inflation. We have to consider that all countries have different parameters with which they measure their economies and compare
I'm
it.
also curious too, just kind of like the balance of what types of videos you're putting out too, because I would say I think it's good to have some of those market recaps and things like that, but I'd also say that it's probably good to have more of the, you know, the raw in the moment videos versus having a bunch of the curated content on there. Like going and doing the vlogs and things like that. I think it's going to be a little bit more powerful than doing some of these, because I mean, sometimes, you know, it's people just kind of, it turns into white noise if that's most of the content that you have on your channel. And people really appreciate kind of the raw in the moment kind of videos, which is why the vlogs do so well. So I didn't see everything that was on your channel, but I would just say that probably kind of have it weighted more on the side of actually being in the neighborhoods and walking around and that type of thing. And that will probably help increase the engagement on the channel as well.
Oh, yep. Yeah, and I'd probably go for a little bit more on, let me see, if I add this back here and go back to the channel, a little bit more of a description. The more robust you can be in the description, the better on the channel. So
yeah, get some keywords in there.
Yeah, to actually spell out Los Angeles versus LA. You want that to be consistent. And I guess, yeah, it looks like it just started a month ago. So, you know, overall, I would also work on less words on the thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably rather have that one, this collapse, like collapse should be probably the only word on there. And it should be in white letters because it's on that, looks like the brown Hollywood Hills behind you. So that would be a little bit more interesting. It looks like you're tagging a little logo, living in Los Angeles. I can appreciate that, but again, it's small on there, so I'm not sure if it's serving a purpose, and it's just additional letters on there that look a little cluttery. I don't know, is cluttery a word on there? So I would, okay, cluttery. So I would probably remove the living in Los Angeles. Again, I appreciate the branding on there, but probably not necessary. And then, yeah, I would work on like this could be don't move to Los Angeles, or Los Angeles stinks, or you know, something like that, instead of you should not move to Los Angeles. That's a lot more words. You think about 3 words or less usually is the rule of thumb on thumbnails. Rule of thumb on thumbnails. There you go. So just keep that clean up. And plus, LA does have beautiful backdrops. So I look at why you should move to LA. I see the background, like looks like a nice sunset, palm trees, but I can hardly see any of that because of there's so many letters. So, you know, I would think of something else that I could phrase in there about moving, but then also releasing that. I might put a little bit more space in between those videos. So I don't know if I'd come out with don't move to LA and then move to LA right back to back as well. I might just break it up a little bit, but again, it's out there, but at the same time, just something to think of moving forward. But yeah, just like Chrissy said, the more value you can provide initially, then for people to start to learn about the area, I think is always going to help out in the beginning on top of that. Now, recession videos, housing crash videos right now, they are popular. I mean, you go everywhere on YouTube, they're all over the place. So something also, though, to I think if you start with the value driven, there is a place for those later on. But
well, yeah, and I think too, like, I mean, if you jam pack your channel with that type of stuff for the sake of just trying to get the views, and that's also going to kind of set the expectation that that's the type of videos that you do as well, which actually could hurt you in the long term. And so I would definitely kind of mix up the content a little bit there so that you can kind of give your audience an idea of what your brand is from the very beginning, because that's kind of setting the foundation and the expectations for people who are becoming, you know, subscribers to your channel. So kind of just give it some variety. And I mean, aside from just the view counts and the subscribers and all of that stuff, it also will give you kind of a baseline of what's really performing well on your channel, because everybody's channel is a little bit different. Depending on where you're from, different videos are going to perform better, than others. And so kind of pulling from different types of content, different formats of different content, that's going to help you get a baseline for what works. And then you're kind of really learning what your audience is looking for and responding to that accordingly.
Yeah. All right. Living in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is great. Thank you. We agree. What she says, Charlotte sits on the border of North Carolina and South Carolina. I worked both states. Is there an advantage to living in the Carolinas? I mean, especially if you're on the border right there, I would just think that would probably still be a little too broad, but I mean, it's an opportunity for 2 channels, really, probably. I mean, but if Charlotte's on the, I mean, I think you still are going to do better with 1 channel first. So, I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, living in the Carolinas, if you're going to cover the whole entire state, maybe that may work if you have a whole or a team across the state and you want to do that, but that's a lot of information to cover, and you're going to need team members probably to contribute to the channel from all the areas that they're in. So if Charlotte is the biggest driver, that's what I'd focus the channel on first primarily. It's easier to start a second channel 8 months or 12 months down the road when you have one, working for you. And so, get business out of one first and then focus on that. Okay, Facebook is glitching. Okay, no problem. Well, just let us know in the chat if the tips were helpful. And
and we do these Q&As every week too. So if it doesn't work today, you can just hop on another time too. So
just launched 5 videos ago and picked up a 700K buyer.
Right.
Awesome.
Nice job.
Congratulations. Let's see. All right, moving to Southgate. Yeah, thank you, Levi and Chrissy. You're welcome, man. All right, so he's already got moving to Southgate, so maybe that is the channel. The most important thing here's the thing. We get I know a lot of people are concerned about their channel. They want their channel name to be perfect. Well, it is interchangeable, right? You can really change it at any time. So I'm gonna kind of wrap up on here, and let Travis throw in some closing thoughts as well. So the thing is that the channel name, I mean, it is important, but it's not as important as those videos in the beginning. We didn't really rank as a channel until about a year into it. And then now when you search Living in Dallas, Texas, our channel will pop up as a preferred channel. That's the power of the catalog of videos that we did for the previous year. All right. So that's what helps the channel. Now, the thing is when somebody goes to a video and they see the name of your channel, that's what we believe is the power in the name of the channel, because they're going to feel like it's informational or value driven first versus Levi and Travis's home selling team. If they see that, they're going to say, okay, these are real estate agents and probably not going to have, I mean, most of the time, I think people think that. I mean, they're like, okay, I just want the information. But if they see a channel and it's dedicated to value driven information, that's where the name is really important in the beginning. But ultimately, it's the videos that you put out. The videos are what becomes searchable on their own, piece by piece, playlist, recommendations, suggested videos, YouTube working through that, creating content that people watch in its entirety so that YouTube will recommend your next videos. But anytime they click on a video, your channel name is going to be right below that. And so that, I believe, does trigger some people to say, oh, okay, well, this channel is called Moving to Southgate. I'm trying to learn more about Southgate, so let me click on the channel. From a search standpoint, it's probably not going to pop up in the beginning as a channel or a preferred channel or what people find initially. It's going to be your videos. So, and kind of like what we talked about with Joanna, YouTube is a search engine, not a social platform. And most of the time people are on there, it's not because they're looking for specific brands. It's because they're looking for information. They're looking for answers. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna turn it over to Travis. So I'm gonna comb through the rest of these comments. Anything you want to throw in there?
No. It was a very good call. I really love seeing everybody's channels and how far you've come. the most important thing that you can do is just push play and hit record. I mean, that's all there really is to it. I mean, everything comes, with time. You're going to get better and better and better. So just, keep diving into the training, keep showing up for these calls. I mean, this process, it definitely takes time. It took us, plenty of time before things really started rolling. So don't, never quit too soon. It takes, give it everything you got for a full year, and, you'll look back and be thankful that you did for sure.
And Alex, I just realized I've been on Wi-Fi this whole time, so we got to make sure to do the check on that. Then I'm on Ethernet. So
hey, it worked. So
work today.
must have knocked on that wooden table before we started.
All right. Well, I think we're going to close it up there, and I think hopefully you found this helpful, and we will see you here next week at the same time. That way, if you have any, it seemed like this was pretty popular, right? I think a lot of people were,
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, jumping in here. So maybe we can do a couple more channel reviews next time. We'd like to do a few different topics. So just join us next week. If you're in the Facebook group, you'll see what the topic is going to be about. But in the meantime, then we'll see you next week.
See you guys.